Hello, welcome back to that Eurovision Site, Eurovision with a Slice of Life. Today, as the pre-party season is over, we're going to be doing a post-pre-party wrap-up. I definitely didn't rehearse saying that line. Um, I'm Kittens. I use pronouns she, her, and I am joined by to that
I'm
side.
Daniel, and I use pronouns he, him. And below me, th- there, it's reversed. I've messed that up.
Hi, I'm Lewis. I use he, him pronouns.
Okay, so firstly, I think we should start off with which pre-parties we actually either attended or watched footage from. So I'll start. I went to Melfest weekend. I went to LEP and I went to Nordic Eurovision Party in Stockholm. And I watched footage from I think every other one, to be honest.
Yeah.
What about you, Daniel?
I went to LEP and watched all the lovely footage you and Tim got from all the other ones.
I went to London Euro Party. Um, I watched all the footage we got from the pre-parties that we went to as a group, as in that Euro site. But I also paid a lot of attention to Madrid. Madrid one, that was the one I paid most attention to.
Okay. Um, let's start with who you were surprised by. So, who wasn't necessarily in your top or not in your estimations at all, um, and has really surprised you. I'm gonna start with Lewis.
Oh, okay. Let's start with let's start with Ladaniva. Ladaniva, I didn't have Ladaniva very high at all in my rankings until I got to that Madrid performance, and that Madrid performance was what changed it for me. Ladaniva has climbed a lot based off that performance alone. Um, I can't believe I'm saying this. I didn't have Estonia very high.
Oh,
I know.
Ow!
I
right,
know.
I have
I
something on that.
okay. Yeah, I mean, London, I feel like that was the performance of the night for me. Yeah, that was the one that I definitely look back on the most, not most fondly. I mean, I love look back on most of it fondly. It's just the Estonian performance is what did it for me. Um,
I say Ewan turned to me after Estonia performed, and he's had them like pretty much last the entire season and said to me, I think I like Estonia now. So I think that's why he's not here. He's embarrassed.
What about you?
um,
Oh, you got
yeah.
more, Lewis. Go for it.
No, I don't.
Okay,
Okay.
Daniel, go for it.
Firstly, not from this year, but Michael Rice I was a lot better than I expected him to be for opening LEP.
He's a lot
Because
of
I,
fun.
because I remember him coming dead last in 2019 and thinking, mm, but actually on the night, being there in the room, he was good. And
He is. He's
maybe if he got given a better song, he could have got a better result. As obvious as that sounds, but in regards to ones that are actually from this year, the one that really surprised me is I didn't particularly care that this person was going, but when no offense to him, but when it actually came to their performance, I thought from Germany, Isaac was brilliant. Just completely
yeah.
caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting that from him at all.
He's a
Just how
great
how
performer.
how powerful, if anything, it was.
Mhm.
Because his vocals just filled the entire room, and as well, I think I wasn't fully listening to Sava's performance because, interesting, I was talking to Fred from Kino about Sami Grand Prix.
The name drop, the name drop.
But from what I heard, I just did disregard it as like a really middle of the road song that I just skip over normally. But it found its way onto the playlists, and if not for the strength of literally everything else, it would be a lot higher in my rankings than it would be.
I feel like that
Right.
song is really a victim
Yeah,
of this year. Uh,
yeah.
she is an outstanding performer.
Mm.
Just, I remember seeing her on stage at Melfest weekend. So like what, a month or a bit ago,
And
and it's just
I will say that they were already pretty high in my rankings to start off with, so it's not like I wasn't expecting much. And you told me to expect a lot, but
yup.
got
Oh yeah.
winner vibes I got from their performance, I think.
It. I mean, I went to Melfest weekend. Like I had got at like 31 or something in my rankings. I did not care for it at all. And I stood there and just took it all in, and I had chills. I was just like,
I think like everyone I spoke to said Gotta the best
yeah,
because
there's just
it's just
something
on a different
special.
level.
Yeah,
Hmm.
100%. Like, I don't know how that doesn't come across on like television the same way, but
I've seen the footage back. It doesn't come across.
no. There is something really special about seeing it in the flash.
Yeah,
It's it's uncanny and weird, but you know, the footage cannot capture how good they are and how the moment you get from it listening to it is like,
Chills.
whoa. The one person I wanted to mention for me, who none of you have mentioned so far, is Nutsa. Um, at
mm.
LEP, I was like, I did not rate that song. I did not rate that singer. I was just like, it's fine. It's fine. The performance at
I,
LEP,
Oh
I
yeah.
girl.
I didn't really think she'd be a good singer, if I'm being honest, because the song isn't one that demands great vocals, but she had them,
Oh my
which
God.
yeah,
Like, she did way more than she needed to on that stage, and that's not a critique.
Completely.
I was just like, I am instantly putting this like definitely left side of my board. I was wowed. And it was very much a, for me, a borderline, will it even qualify? And now I'm like, if she delivers like she delivered then, like I remember
yeah.
doing the discussion video with Tim and sitting there and going, I don't really, I think it's fine. And if she delivers like she did in London,
Oh, completely. Yeah.
it it's gonna qualify. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for that to bite me in the butt later, but
No, of
Nutsa
course.
girl, I believe in you.
The nutser of it all. I remember watching Madrid, and she opted not to sing "Firefighter" in Madrid. She opted to sing "Hurt," a cover of a Christina Aguilera song, and it was there that I realized, okay, she's got the vocals. That's incredible. But then when it was in London, we were like, okay, this is a whole rounded package: vocals, performance quality. To do that much choreo and still hold up a
Yeah.
vocal
Just
like that.
just on her own as well, no dancers,
Mm.
just vibing. She was quite like
Mm-hmm.
I was just transfixed. I was, you know, I think she is an absolute gem. She's gonna do so well, but I think this is the joy of pre-party season, is that you find somebody who
Yeah.
you had kind of slept on and you suddenly go, where did that come from?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Um so talking about now this may or not work because your favorite may not have been at the pre-parties, but if your favorite was somebody who was at one of the pre-parties, has that changed?
That is a very hard question because my favorite between 1 and 2 changes every time I listen to each song at this point. And I've just accepted that I will not know for sure which one my favorite is until Malmö and until I see them both on the same night because I saw your footage which from the Stockholm one and
Wait.
Yost
Which are your faves?
Yost and Nemo with Europapa and the Code, which I think you might be rubbing off on me because that's 260 BPM bangers. But
I'm working.
they they are both just have everything. Like that there is nothing I can say about either song that it needs because it's already all there.
Yeah. I mean,
And
my favorite has been Switzerland since the minute I heard it.
Mhm.
I and being able to watch it from less than a meter away in Stockholm was I felt genuinely like my heart rate was gonna like do some sort of like dangerous spike. Um I just came away from there feeling like I was like it was felt like I was the one on stage. I felt like that like wound up like I just remember the first live video of Nemo coming out, which came out during pre-party season,
yeah,
but wasn't from pre-party. And everybody just suddenly going, "We're going to Switzerland next year."
yeah, when that came out, I was just like, thank God.
It
Because there's been so many songs like those in the past where it falls flat with live vocals. No,
that delivers,
just yeah.
Mhm.
just astounding. Yeah, just and Yost as well. Like Yost,
Even though he nearly killed you.
Oh,
it looks more dramatic than it is, I promise. But Yost was
What I love seeing is other angles of that where you just see Tim chasing him.
it's
oh,
it was a great moment, and so much energy, so much good stuff happening on that stage. I, if Yost isn't a winner, Yost is gonna be right up there. I can't.
Yeah,
I can see Yost in the split screen.
Yost
yeah.
is definitely in. Well, I don't want to say. I would be very shocked if he wasn't.
Mm.
I'd be
What
very
about
shocked if he wasn't.
what about you, Lewis? Who was your favorite? And
Oh, my
like,
favorite's been Nemo from the jump. If
uh,
my
Oh,
favorite's been Nemo from the jump. If anything, this pre-party season has just reassured me that I was. Yeah, I'm to have that much versatility in your vocals and be able to nail it on the night. I, I I know I feel like I'm not a betting person, but I feel like Nemo's almost definitely going to be in the split screen. Um, I
it's just someone else. I
yeah.
it
At this
it's
at
the
this
whole
point,
package.
I cannot see anyone else winning.
I can see one
Now,
other person winning.
I can.
um, I
I
mean,
almost
I can see it. I don't think it's likely.
I wouldn't
Do
vote. I
we
wouldn't.
have do we
I
all
was
have the same other person though?
that's
Maybe
the
not.
that's tea. Like
Okay, here's the tea. Daniel, who's your other person?
Angelina Mango.
Mine is also Angelina Mango. Lewis?
I was gonna say mine is also Angelina Mango, but I also wouldn't rule Yost out.
I wouldn't rule
Yeah,
Yost out either.
I,
Yeah.
I would I would love Yost. I think of the like front runners, other than Croatia, which I just don't think will win at all,
No.
is out of the ones that I think were three front runners. I think he's least chance, but still maybe some.
Mm. I think I feel like it could well be personally, I think, between Nemo and Angelina Mango. But
Oh my god.
we shall
The,
wait and see.
the 2021 of it all.
Ugh.
Switzerland versus Italy.
Oh God, not again. So looking the other way, did anybody go down in your rankings? I mean, people have been going
Yeah,
up. Logically, some people must have gone down.
yes.
Was
Yeah.
there anybody who you were
Uh,
Oh
disappointed a
god.
little in their performance?
it
Or
wasn't that I was disappointed, it's that everyone else was just so great that I felt like putting down a family pet, like moving Luna down my rankings because
oh,
her her performance was great, but everyone else's were amazing.
mm,
Like if she could just have easily have moved up in my rankings after her performance, but after everyone else being as amazing as they were, it just didn't work out that way. One and Armenia, I didn't, but this was based on the pre after party at LEP. Hearing Armenia in that environment is what pushed it up for me because it's
mm.
just so fun.
It is. It
Hmm.
could well be the trend electoral of the year.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's got good vibes. What about you, Lewis?
I had someone who took a huge fall. And when I say a huge fall, I had them third. Now they're like not even qualifying.
Ooh.
And I feel awful about it because okay. I'm just gonna say it.
Just do it.
Mag-
Just do it.
Megara.
Ooh.
I know there was many factors that came into play when it came to London, so I didn't want to like look too much into it. I mean, people were on like 1 hour sleep, so but I just I don't know. I don't know what it was for me. It just didn't feel like it had the same impact as when I heard it the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
I
what you
think
mean. Yeah.
for me that they played Arcadia just before, and I was living for Arcadia, but their song this year it just goes right through me.
I don't think it's
Like
got like much
it
of a.
doesn't it doesn't hit the same at all. And,
No.
and I was like buzzing when they were announced to be in the San Marino because Arcadia was great, but
Yeah.
it's like I have them 34 at the minute, which if you told me that Megara would be my 34th at the start of the season, I thought it'd be like the best thing ever. But
Mm,
but there are songs I'm okay about that I have above it.
yeah. Like
And I just think they can do better.
Yeah.
yeah, and hopefully I mean we don't know what goes on at pre-parties. It's a long frickin' day and hopefully they can
Mm,
pull it out the bag. But I do think they are borderline qualifiers.
yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it lacks something like a catchy hook or something, some sort of pull to like really make it memorable.
Mm.
So we'll see, I guess. I think it they have done a good job regardless, but I think it's just not as catchy as it was personally.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I feel like Lewis is gonna hate me for this. One artist who has slightly gone down in my rankings is
No.
Windows 95, man.
It took me a second to be like, wait, what? Oh.
Yeah.
I think I kind of agree with that.
I
I just
I feel it is kind of getting absorbed a little by other things that are just better versions of what it is.
yeah.
Um, like Papa is slightly a better version of what it is, and Yost's performance is so captivating you cannot keep your eyes off Yost. But Windows 95, man, as much as they are employing every trick in the book, there is something I don't know about it. It
I
feels like it's losing its gloss a little.
I think it's a little bit harsh to compare their it to, it's a song that thrives on a big stage with big equipment. They showed that in
Yeah.
UMK, but even still, Croatia I think's better, Netherlands I think's better, Estonia I think's better. That
Lewis
just
fuming right now.
that just leaves it like a. I don't. I can see it still qualifying easily, but once you get through,
Yeah,
the votes will run dry. It'll be like Blood and Glitter getting obliterated by Carrier or something like
yeah.
that.
I don't think they're gonna end up like in the bottom five or anything
No,
like that. But I do think like for me personally, a bit of the shine has been taken off it, and I can't really explain why because they've not done anything wrong. I think it's just
no,
everybody else has been better.
yeah, that is
Um,
pretty much everyone going down my rankings. My explanation,
yeah.
I,
Lois,
and
do you wish to respond? You look like you're
it's
gonna
an
murder me.
I remember saying that when Theresa Maria dropped that this is going to be my winner. Nothing else is getting above this. It's my seventh, and my
Yeah.
opinion on it hasn't changed. It's
I
just very,
yeah.
very good year because everything I think in like my top 10 is the best way to do that site
Yeah.
kind of song. They executed it flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to yell at me now, Lois?
No, all opinions are valid. I'm just very, very,
Very disappointed in me.
I'm very hurt. That is fine.
I want to mention somebody as well who did go down a little bit for me, but then went back up. Ollie Alexander.
Mm,
After the LEP performance, I was worried.
yeah.
Uh, the LEP performance was not Ollie on top form. I think that is fair to say. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad performance, but it just didn't seem on top form. And I was like, oh dear.
To be honest, I wasn't looking into that performance in the same way everyone else was, because I thought it was staring at me the whole time. So I was like, okay, I'm here for it. But no, yeah, definitely.
Right. I
But
could not see him for most of it because of where I was stood. So
Oh,
I mean, I was at the barrier and I was worried
hmm.
after that performance. And then the next week at Nordic, you could have told me that that was a completely different human. I was like, I was genuinely so surprised. I was just like, I'm back. I'm back. We're so
Yeah,
back. We're so back.
we're so back.
um, I was absolutely stunned by his performance at Nordic. You could have told me that was a completely different person. I was just so impressed. Um, so we had a little blip, but we're so back. We're so back. We're so back.
I, I think I need to issue an apology to Aiko, I think, because I was quite harsh on her vocals in the Eurovision jury that will come up. I think I take that back. She's fine.
Yeah,
Because
she's great.
because going off the vocals of that song I had heard, both from the festival she did in the summer and from the Czech national final, I was worried for her, and I still am, but not because of her, but because of other people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
I get
because
yeah.
the vocals are there now, I ish, but
There's been
it's
improvement.
there's a big improvement.
There's
Yeah.
been focus on the vocals,
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean, at Nordic, she did a whole thing where she was not on the stage. She was not on the main stage at all.
I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, this is because we had no footage. We had nothing to show. She was not on the stage. And then eventually she appeared up on the balcony and we were like, "Oh my God, what is she doing up there?" There was a dancer on the stage and we were all expecting her to come out and join the dancer. And we were like, "What the hell? What is she doing up there?" And she was on a balcony above the stage. The vocals were so good that I thought it was just the recording playing and they were going to restart it and she was going to come on and singing.
Mm.
But I was like, no, damn, these vocals are good, girl. And then she like came downstairs and ran into the crowd and the whole thing. But she was on a balcony above the stage, and the reason you haven't seen the footage is there is no footage. We had nothing to show you. It was weird. I think she said something about there being like a pre-party journey and there was going to be some sort of narrative between the performances and stuff like that. But I think it was just very odd for everybody involved that we were just like watching a dancer on the stage do their thing, which was lovely, but we were like, what is this? But genuinely, I thought it was a recording. I was very impressed by her vocals. It's sometimes weird when you can't see them, but you're like,
Right.
you hear it
Yeah.
differently, don't you? One last thing before we wrap up. Have you got any other surprises, comments about pre-party season this year? Anyone who you want to mention in particular? Anybody who anything?
I think I really wanted to pay attention to Bambi because
Yes. Yes.
the only reference point I had up to the pre-parties was Eurosong, and bless the artist that performs on Eurosong. That is not a well-produced national final at all. So it was nice to hear from. I am not worried for Bambi whatsoever.
Oh no.
In terms of like performance quality and oh gosh, yeah, it's Madrid. I loved their performance. I think when it came to Madrid, Bambi was one of the ones that I remember the most from Madrid. I think it was Bambi and La Deniva for me in Madrid. And also I was going to say I loved their secondary song that they had.
Tsunami 1111.
Yeah.
I
think the LEP audience loved Bambi.
Yeah.
Just that it was wild in there.
It was great. And kudos to the dancers as well for spraying water into the audience. We were dehydrated as hell at that point. But yeah, no, I just an example of a stellar performer, really.
Honestly, I saw a tweet like a couple of days ago saying people were worried that Shum would qualify at the time, and I saw it and said, you know what? Why not? I think I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
And I share in the appeal because that is a great performance by a great artist.
Yeah, the recording, the performance,
Absolutely.
it's
and
wild.
If the people listening or watching haven't streamed Bambi's album, do, because the other song they did wasn't on that album, but it is a great album with quite a lot of track variety on it as well, that no two songs on it sound the same, which can't be said for some artists, but it just goes to show there's a hell of an artist that Ireland have picked. That even if things don't work out for them, they can be proud of what they've sent this year, which is something they've only really been able to say like a couple times over the last decade or so.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that Ireland do at least qualify.
Yeah.
I think they have done some great stuff this
every
year.
time I look at that semi-final, I just get miserable because there's at least like one or two that are just great that we're losing, and you just cannot fit all of them into the 10 slots.
Somehow it's gonna be really interesting. I wanted to mention, not really on a I don't think there's anything wrong with their vocals or anything like that, but I want to mention the other delight of pre-party season is artists meeting each other and vibing.
Dons and Sarah, I love them so much.
Sarah, that is the exact couple who I wanted to say. The exact one, that TikTok video where they're like fighting each other for bangers and ballads. I was just like, yep, that's me and Daniel, that is. But yeah, no, I I did not have Sarah Bonici and Dons being the
I
miscongenialities of
think,
this season on my bingo
and,
card,
and
but I
Don's
am
is just
here for
he's
it.
just such a funny human being.
So, so funny. I have just really enjoyed just Don's, a person who, and I've definitely begun to like hear a lot more in their song as well, to be honest. Their performance was really
I
great
think
and it's
for
been
me, it's more
consistent.
of a case of I just feel bad for not liking it. Like it
Right.
reminds me of Monica Lou that I don't really care for the song, but she's just such a great woman, and
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm missing out by not being able to love her song because I don't. But
Yeah.
she's just the same this year as well. They're just so great, and also massive shout out to Sylvester and Nemo.
Mm,
Oh, I loved Sylvester's London performance.
Oh no, that was
yeah.
great. That was so good.
I think I personally think that Luke Talk has something to it live with an audience when you have
Mm.
the kind of like the
Yeah.
moments and all of
I
that.
think
I think it's got something interesting. I still think it's not gonna be like top 10 on the final night,
Yeah.
but I would love to see it there, you
I
know?
think I think I I think it will get somewhere around there, if not there.
We shall see. Anybody who surprised you, Lewis?
Um.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh
I
gosh.
think
Um.
But
Okay.
you can
I'm
say
gonna. I'm gonna.
no.
There's a few that has surprised me. I'm gonna bring up another person that like is slightly lower in my estimation, just because. I love this song. Don't get me wrong. I love this song. Um. But I did not enjoy Slaman's
Is it the mic thing?
pre-party bits. I'm fine with them moving away from the mic. It was when he was trying to sing the parts in the. I don't think it translated well when he was. So for that instance, when he was in London and he tried to sing it in English, I don't.
I
And it's probably to do with like the um I don't know
the
the phrasing, like the I don't
Like the
know
Are you
the
rhythm
trying to
of
say?
the
the
lyrics.
rhythm. Yes, exactly.
I think it's just a very French song that needs to be French.
Right.
I feel like there's no real reason for it to be in
Yeah.
any other language
I
than
I
French.
I I
It
I
can
I,
just be.
I don't like when artists translate songs. It goes like when Icelandic ones change, and it goes for Titan as well, which has gone down since the translation of it. And one last person I'd like to mention is Rosa Lynn, who was at LEP.
Yeah.
I just think it's really lovely seeing her thrive.
You're just
Mm.
doing
But
that. I just think it's neat
yeah,
thing,
because
but with Rosalind.
I I like her music, it's great, but it's it's watching someone just know they've made it.
Yeah.
But
That just a quality performer, to be honest. So yeah.
yeah, and you can still tell how much it means to her every time, I
Yeah.
think.
She was great at LEP. I
And
agree.
I have been streaming the other songs she did as well, which
Yeah.
it's a lovely song.
Yeah. Right. I think we will have to wrap up. Thank
Yes.
you very,
Yeah,
very much to
we have a meeting thing menacing, counting down. We've got 2 minutes.
we need to say thank you to Lewis and Daniel for joining me. If you enjoyed this recap, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, be notified when we have
1,000 subscribers, yeah.
yeah,
Oh yes.
be notified when we've got new interviews, recaps, discussions, etc., etc. Also, be sure to follow us on every social media out there at that Euro site on Twitter, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Instagram. Also be sure to check out that Eurovision podcast on all streaming sites, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. All that's left to say is thank you very much for
Thank you.
watching. See you.